So there was a YCS, obviously remote, Latum, and then a few regionals. So I just wanted to run through some deck lists from the event. So I mean, this was probably like the coolest deck list that I saw. First I'll go over like the first I'll go over the pie chart for the event. So we have like some cool statistics here, I guess. We have SP Little Knight being in a lot of the decks, Ash Blossom, Droll actually being already played in so many main decks, I think. Or maybe this includes side, but it's still pretty interesting to know that like this many people are playing Droll even in the main or side. So it might be a Droll format next format for sure. We see Ghost Bell actually being in a lot of decks as well, so that's kind of important if you're like a lab player. But yeah, it's kind of cool that this many people are playing Droll and Bell. I think that's like important sign for next format. Definitely, I feel like it will hurt lab Bell being in this many decks. First place for this weekend, so we had 2 Manadium, 2 Sprite. That's crazy. I want to see the Sprite list for sure, but I don't think any of them posted it. 2 Kashdira, 1 Unknown, 1 Rescue Ace, 1 Bestial, 1 Pearly, and 1 Tier Laments. I'm pretty sure that's the remote YCS winner. Then North America only tops. We have Rescue Ace. So North America Rescue Ace is super popular. So is Manadium. It's crazy how different it is from over here where it's 9.4%, and then it's 22, but it's still like the same number, so I guess there's just way more tournaments in EU right now. Kashdira, Fire King. I think Fire King is like one of the best decks still in this like format pre-Phantom Nightmare. I mean, it's only 2 card difference that they get out of the new set. Then Latin America was a lot of Rescue Ace, of course. A lot of Labyrinth, a lot of Fire Kings. Yang Zing, Tenyi Sword Soul. So Yang Zing, Tenyi Sword Soul actually get like a lot better because you can run this card, which is pretty sweet, Danglong. When you special summon him, you can add 1 Yang Zing card from your deck to your hand. Once per turn, you can Foolish a worm type monster from your deck to the graveyard, so it doesn't even have to be a Yang Zing. And then it becomes that level, and it is a tuner. And then if this face-up card leaves the field, you can special summon 1 Yang Zing monster from your deck. So that's why you play the fire one, and I'm assuming that he plays the fire one for Chao Feng, because that's kind of broken that it's not a tuner, but you could just add this and then summon it, and then bam, this is a 9-card synchro, but then you wouldn't be using its effect. Yeah, because it has to become the Scent Levels monster. But I mean, this just seems OP with Chao Feng low-key. I mean, Sword Soul probably aren't that good, but like making Chao Feng for fire does seem kind of broken for sure. I'm wondering how they would do that with like another card. Does this have a good effect? Oh, it's a quick effect synchro summon. Oh, so you could Foolish, and then you can just leave out Danglong, and then you can make Chao Feng on your opponent's turn. I wonder if that's how they were doing it. Because it's only for this turn. Oh no, it's just that it sent monsters forever. That's kind of crazy. What's the trap do? When a spell, trap, card, or monster effect is activated and you control Yang Zing card, negate the activation, and if you do, shuffle that card into the deck, then destroy 1 other Yang Zing card you control. This card's pretty broken. I mean, even if you destroy like Chao Feng with this, you get to add a hand trap. I mean, they're not playing Effect Veiler, which is kind of weird, but so yeah, so you can't add a hand trap, I guess, in this deck. The fact that they're maining Shifter too, I bet Shifter was like the nuts with this deck. I mean, they're maining 3 Droll already before Phantom Nightmare, which is like a telltale sign. They're also siding 3 Bell and 3 Nib before Phantom Nightmare. I feel like cards like these wouldn't change in these decks. If anything, they would be like more targeted versus Fire King. But yeah, this deck seems pretty strong. I really like the fact that you could go Chao Feng with the fire monster, right? The Yang Zing monsters, yeah, because it doesn't matter if it's a non-tuner. So then it would literally be your opponent can use fires or lights, which is kind of crazy. Then this was what? Unchained, Christian. I mean, there's not really much to say about this because he just made a like pretty 25-minute video on this deck. Really good. You should just see his explanations on this for sure, because I know he doesn't run Lady, and that's the level 6 new Labyrinth guy. top 8. Let's go. And then Orchist, this good deck got top 4. See what they're doing new. Dragon Link actually got top, top second place at this regional, so second place. This is all during the Philly regional too, by the way. So it was a capped event, so there's like over 1,000 people. It's kind of crazy. 3 Lebellion, 3 Sornier, so max out on the Bystials. Bystials are kind of cool next format. You can still use them on like IP Masquerena, SP Little Knight. Like there's still targets. Black Witch even, because original does say Black Witch from Grave, so you can't use it when it's banished. What other cards are there? I mean, you can banish your own Black Witch too if it gets targeted by Dark, something like that. 40 card list, 2 Rocket Tracers, Scarlet, that's just for time. Yeah, it's pretty standard extra deck. Only 9 hand, well I guess you have the Bystials and the 9 hand traps. Actually siding the 2 Pinkertops, we also see Droll again on the side. This deck just seems so crazy because like if Droll is going to be in everyone's deck, like this deck gets hit so hard by Droll. And then 3 Encore still for Pearly. This deck looked crazy. Rescue Ace, Horus. This is actually like way more popular too in the OCG. A lot of people actually play Rescue Ace Horus. I actually like the Horus package in this deck low key because it does make it like more consistent because you can actually pitch your dead Rescue Ace cards. It's like Black Witch in that way. Also making Zombie Vampire and searching through your deck is nice. It does suck if you mill like Rescue Ace cards though. I guess if you mill the traps though, you can just emergency them back anyway. But if you mill like HQ, oh my god, so awful. He was actually siding 3 Silent Graveyard, 2 time cards, 3 DD Crow, 3 Drone Lockbird, 3 Ash Blossom. Anything interesting about the extra? So we went with a generic extra. You can still definitely run like this version after. I don't know how good it would be because like original gets even better with the Snake Eye cards. And then you want to run, yeah, you just want to run 3 Bonfire Populace if you can. But if you can't afford them, if you can't afford the some of the new cards, you could definitely just go with this package with the gold sarcophagus. I know instead he's just like expensive too though, right? So maybe not. He's also running Silvera. Silvera is just like such a weird card. It's like so broken, but at the same time you have to have your Diabellstar on the field. Yeah, it's another trap card too. It's weird though, cause it gets way better with the quick play. Like I would feel so weird because when you summon it with Black Witch right now, it's basically like your Black Witch is like Solemn Strike, but it's like a searchable Solemn Judgment, because you can't get rid of your Black Witch because you need this on the field for it to resolve, to activate it. I guess you could have it in your hand, or if you said another Wanted, you could activate Wanted on your opponent's turn and then add it back and then activate this. It's definitely something cool you could do. 2 Talents. I feel like Talents is gonna be 3 of next format so hard. We were running 3 Super Poly with the 2 targets. Almirage is kind of crazy. What are we Almiraging? Just Hydrant? It's definitely interesting. Another crazy part about this deck is, 3 Ash Blossom in the side deck already. Pre-Promethean Princess, we're siding 3 Ash Blossom. That's kind of crazy. Oral target Link Rebo, yeah. Also, yeah, Link Rebo getting targeted by like the Bystials is also really strong. Especially, yeah, versus pure Snake Eye next format. Then this deck got top 4 at the Latin Remote YCS, so is Vanquish Soul. One thing that's insane about Vanquish Soul is it still has 3 Fenrir, and it can run Shifter. And I kind of forgot about this deck as like one of the better Shifter decks. The fact that this deck can run Shifter definitely boosted up a bit. I would say. Like it just alone probably means it can get to the top cut for sure. They got 3 Raisin, of course. Um, anything that I can say that's they're playing 2 Durandal to search. That's kind of crazy. Rather than like running something like the super heavy samurai package, they got their 1 of there can only be 1. 1 of the trap. Citing 3 Phantasmes. Phantasme is definitely a card that people think is going to get like a lot better next format, just because so many decks are going to be link summoning. Same with Bell, same with Nibiru. So to be already siding these cards and doing well with them is definitely testament. I mean, you could kind of say that about all these cards because Feather Duster and Lightning Storm, Rescue Ace is still going to be super popular. So cards like these are pretty good, especially when you know everyone's not going to be making the Terahertz package to kind of like negate cards like these to a searchable negate for these. Then Summon Limit is just like the 3 floodgates next format are definitely DDG, Anti-Spell, Summon Limit. And a lot of people really like Summon Limit. I'm not like the biggest fan, I think it's the worst of the 3, but it's interesting that they got top 4 with all 3. Okay, and then we actually have a Bystial Red Dragon Archfiend deck that got top 8 at the regional, the Catskill regional. That's kind of crazy. I do not know what a lot of these cards do, but he is running the new Earthbound cards. I know I saw like Josh playing those with the Runic deck. So because these cards are kind of broken, the Resonator cards I know are really good. So let's just read some of these cards. If there is a card in a field zone, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon Earthbound Prisoner Stone Sweeper once per turn this way. So you have to have a field zone to special them from your hand, and you can only do it once. You can discard this card, add 1 level 3 or lower Fiend Tuner from your deck to your hand. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except Fusion or Synchro monsters. You can only use this effect of Earthbound once per turn. And this card's kind of sweet. Little Rhoda action for level 3 Fiend Tuners. I mean, the restriction could be annoying when we have links, but obviously we're only running Synchros in a deck like this. And of course it's a Calamity deck, which is pretty nice. And then we have Obsessive Uvaloop. If this card is in your hand, you can target 1 Synchro monster you control or in your graveyard, banish it, and if you do, special summon this card. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target 1 Synchro monster you control or in your graveyard, banish it, and if you do, add this card to your hand. You only use each effect once per turn. This card's kind of sweet. Just like special summon and recursion, and you can use both in the same turn. That's kind of crazy. Is it a tuner? No, it's just a generic level 4 Earth. I fuck with that card. Then we have only one Crimson Resonator to special summon off of the Red Rising Dragon. Played this deck in Duel Links where you play Doomcal and special at the end phase. 3 Soul Resonator. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add 1 level 4 or lower Fiend monster from your deck to your hand. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except Dark Synchro monsters. This card you control would be destroyed by a card effect while you control Red Dragon Archfiend or a Synchro monster that mentions it. You can banish it from the grave instead. So really the only effect that matters here is you can add 1 level 4 or lower Fiend monster from your deck to your hand except himself. And then he has the same restriction except it's Dark Synchros, not just Synchros. So basically all we play is Dark Synchros though, right? Yep. And this card's kind of sweet too. You just have like a bunch of fucking Rotas. So this deck is definitely hella weak to Droll. This card, if a Synchro monster is on your field, you can special summon this card. You can only special summon once per turn. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target 1 Resonator monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Ooh, if that shit says special summon it, be even nicer. Special summon this card, you can only... And they all are hard once per turns with the special summons. This card is sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 spell trap. That's the one that adds this. Bone Archfiend. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can send 1 other card from your hand or field to the graveyard to special summon this card. Also, yeah, same restriction. You can target 1 face-up monster you control that has a level, send 1 Fiend Tuner from your hand or deck to the graveyard, and if you do, increase or decrease that monster's level by 1. It's kind of insane. It's just a foolish burial. And like, it's like kind of like Uzi Zombie. Or Uni Zombie. I like that they all special from the hand. And then we have a Bestial package, so definitely think the Bestials are gonna get worse. So like any deck that like relies on the Bestials kind of get worse, but you know, they're definitely not unplayable by any means. But I mean, if people are main and droll, like this dude's main and droll, and this deck is just so weak to droll. We're even running Prosperity. It's like crazy how hard droll hits this deck. This is just another Rhoda, Threaded Trap, Red Zone. Went over that before. And then we have the Labellion Trap. Alright, I'm surprised we don't run Branded Regain. That card just seems so good always. Like that card should be banned. How good it is. And then we see 3 Bells, 3 Crows, so a lot of 3 Bell lists so far that we've seen. 3 Nibiru, 3 Cosmic Cyclone cards. Gonna be probably a 3 of in every deck. I'm surprised I haven't seen more of it. I also like it a Leper's Lab. Then 3 Skill Drain. Then we have a Marincess list that actually topped. It got 2nd at the same regional. And it was how many players? 302 players at this regional. Does it play any? So it plays 1 card I don't recognize. So we have 3 Blue Tang, 3 Pascalis, 3 Spring Girl, 1 of the level 5, 2 of the level 1s. I've never actually seen this card. The monster you control would be destroyed by card effects. You can banish this card from your graveyard instead. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. You can banish 1 Marincess Trap in your grave, add 1 Marincess Trap with a different name from your deck to your hand. Yeah, I don't know how good this card is. This card doesn't seem that good. If you control a water monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. You cannot special summon monsters except water the turn you activate this effect. You can banish this card from your graveyard and target up to 3 water monsters in your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck. Oh, this card's sweet for Marincess, for real. Can help make Bahamut Shark. It's pretty broken. And then the best part about Marincess, you get to run 3 Ash, 3 Valor, 3 Nib, 3 Imperm. It's what, 3, 6, 9, 12. And then we're also running 2 Droplets, 2 Talents, Reborn Called By. It's like 16 non-engine cards. This deck is really sweet because it can do that. And Zealantis just is like the boost that this deck needed to get over like huge monsters. That's always my biggest problem with the deck. 3 DD Crow, 3 Bell, 3 Droll, 1 Dweller, 3 Cosmic, 1 Feather Duster.